All right, welcome back. So we got 3 games left to go here. We're going to start off
Jump
with my
in.
most depressing one. We're just going to start off. We're going to start right off in depression mode here. So we're talking about the Colts and the 49ers. Um, I'm back to my same old what I've been saying. What in the heck is going on the offensive side of the ball? You find something that works and then you stop doing it. Like they went away from the run. The run was working. And if you notice, when did Jimmy have success throwing the ball? He had success with the clear outs and the crossing routes. When he didn't is when they're throwing all the stuff to the sidelines. He that wasn't there for him, and yet they just kept doing it. They just kept saying, you know what, let's go ahead and we're going to run to the sidelines. Oh, it didn't work. What happened? Oh, crossing routes. It works. It works great. Run the ball. It works great. The Niners had a huge opportunity in this. You know, they went up early in the beginning of the game and just let it go. You know, what the defense is doing. Because the defense, you know, they found themselves in too many positions where it's either a complete pass or it's pass interference. Those are the only two options and the outcomes. It's like, you know, having that once, twice, but pretty much anytime it was third down and long, you can almost expect that to happen. And the Colts, knowing this, they're going to take the shot, which means that you've got your defensive backs that are consistently out of position. And so they're taking advantage of that. Like this is the NFL. They're going to take advantage of the fact that your defensive back is going to get out of position. And you know what? I don't have to throw a great ball. It just has to look like it's catchable because your defensive back doesn't know that it's not catchable. And so he's just going to go over there and swat the guy to make sure it's like maybe I get away with one. We get the pass interference. We move down the field. Carson Wentz isn't a terrible quarterback. He's pretty smart. His issue is staying healthy. And Niners let him run the ball a bunch during the game and couldn't bother to even give him a sprained ankle so that he wouldn't be on the field. So even Carson
Yeah.
Wentz's even his bad luck charm was not was not working for the Niners. So I get it, they still don't have Kittle, so they don't have their big, tight end attack. But when I look at this, what I see is a play calling issue and a consistency issue where it's like, why do you keep going? Like I get it. It's like Shanahan wants the team to look a certain way. And it doesn't look that way. So he starts running this other stuff that works. And then he goes, okay, now that we got some momentum, let's go back to the way I want the team to look. And every time he does that, it doesn't work. And we end up in this spot here where, it just the Niners just could not get it done and didn't get it done at all. So what did you see, Sam? I know you don't care about the Niners, but we both picked them though. We both picked the Niners to win this
I
game.
did pick the Niners, so hey, I do care a little bit about them. I do care. I would say that I was impressed with Mitchell. I was definitely impressed with Mitchell as far as the running game. I think that you guys need to stick with that. He had 107 yards, 18 carries, 20 being the longest.
Mhm.
Um, you know, and Taylor of the Colts, he had a great game too. 107 yards, 18 carries, 33 being the longest. It's a it was it was just a game that you know um, raining raining. A lot of the balls were slipping. A lot of turnovers, and it's you know Garoppolo had 2 interceptions and just turning the ball over. It's you know I I'm not going to give up on Shanahan being the best offensive coach in the NFL. I am going to say that he needs to do something because this is not what I was expecting at all from the Niners. And yes, I tease the Niners all the time. I call them the whiners, and I joke with a lot of 49er fans calling them whiners. But this right here is just this is not something I was expecting. I was expecting that a great defense and then an unbelievable offense that is going to can score at will. But due to the fact that your starting running back, did get hurt at the beginning of the season, I still thought that you had reserves that were going to be able to, in this running back Mitchell seems like he's going to be legit. And yes, you guys are missing Kittle. I'm hoping that he's going to come back. I'm not knowing what the timing is. They saying the timing is injury of him coming back, but I mean, you can tell that 49ers offense went from when Kittle got hurt. You can tell that their offense just decreased.
Yeah,
So
with Kittle and Mostert out, it's hard to do it, and they're at a spot where you don't have your key players to stop being cute and just play football.
yep, true.
But enough of
Seahawks.
that. Enough of that. Let's go to the other side. Well, no, it's not even the other side of the bay. It used to be the other side of the bay. Now it's all the way to Las Vegas. But we have the Eagles and the Raiders. Raiders won that one 33-22. Sam doesn't have anything to say about it because it was the Philadelphia Eagles, and it turns out he doesn't care. So, this was it was a fun game to watch, another one, and it just really was one of those, Raiders came out and I don't know, they won the middle of the game. And by the time that the Eagles started picking something up and saying, let's play again, it was too little too late. Um, I don't, it was fun to watch if you're a Raiders fan. They were able to do pretty much whatever they wanted to do and harass the, what's his name? Gosh, yes, Hurts. They were able to harass Hurts enough to just kind of, keep him guessing. I mean, he didn't have a terrible game, but he definitely didn't have what was needed. And their running game just was really. I mean, it's almost like look back at the Ravens game, right? And just not as good as that was, right? Where you've got Jalen Hurts, 236 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then your leading rusher, Jalen Hurts, 13 carries, 61 yards. Your next closest rusher, 30 yards. It's like this isn't college. This isn't the triple option. If your quarterback is outpacing the other nearest guys 2-1, it's not a good day. It's just not a good day. And especially when you compare that to somebody else who has basically a career performance day where it's like throughout most of the game, the only incomplete pass Derek Carr had was the interception. And even that was one of those like, yeah, it was off, but you still had the tip ball drill and all that kind of stuff. But that was for a long part of the game. That was his one incompletion, right? He finishes the game 31 of 34. Like that's 3 incompletions, throwing the ball 34 times. That is a lot. That's 91 point some odd percent of a completion ratio, completion percentage for the whole game. 323 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like you've really got to expect more. If your defense is going to allow that to happen, your offense has to pick up the slack. It didn't happen. We ended up where we ended up with the Raiders walking away with the win.
Yeah. Well, I would say this that the Eagles started out good. They scored the first score. Usually it's the other team that scores the first score with them. But as I stated before on other episodes, that with Jalen Hurts, it's always a blowout. It's a blowout game for the Eagles, and then you see them climbing back. They're climbing back. So let me take it. Okay, so they scored 7 in the first quarter. Then second quarter, Raiders scored 17. Then Raiders scored 13, and then it was 30 to 7. Then in the fourth quarter, amazingly, Eagles are starting to score. Eagles are starting to score. Eagles are starting to, and it's this, oh, let's try to get back into the game. And then people are saying, oh, well, look at Jalen Hurts numbers. Look at it. He has this. He has 236 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he got them back in the game. Okay, and they're not. talking about the other 2 quarters where they didn't score anything at all. This
Hmm.
is what the Eagles do. This is what the Eagles do. The Eagles, they um they you blow them out, and then they come back in the fourth quarter. They were able to come back on the fourth quarter against Carolina, because Carolina had the game 17 to, I think it was 17-3, and then they came back. And it's just like, you know, and I'm telling teams need to understand that, hey, once you build this lead with the Eagles, um, expect that they're gonna come back and fight back. Jalen Hurts is not the answer for the Eagles. And maybe it's not him. Maybe it's not him. Maybe it's something. I don't care about the Eagles
Hmm.
at all. But I can tell you that just watching that, there's something in that offense that is not clicking where they are going to be able to stay in the game, be even in the game, and they're always playing comeback.
No, you're right. You are right. So they got to put a whole game together, and scoring points in garbage time, more or less, is not looks good on the stat sheet. Doesn't change the flavor of the game. So, um, but we're running short on time, so we're almost out of here for this one here. So we're gonna jump real quick into New Orleans and Seattle. That's all I'm gonna say. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. When you got your backup quarterback in, who's having some success but also having some struggles, really bad time to miss 2 field goals. That's all I'm saying. It's just a really bad time to miss 2 field goals. Just want to point that out. I'm gonna let it go.
Okay. And I'm going to say that for the past 3 weeks, Geno Smith has been in a position where he could be able to win the game for Seattle, and he failed. And
He's a
I'm not
backup quarterback. What do we
I, but
expect?
I'm not going to put any knock on him as far as him being the backup quarterback, but because he was a backup quarterback for Eli, he's a backup quarterback for Russell Wilson, and those 2 quarterbacks are phenomenal. So you being a backup to them is, you know, has to say something about how you play or what Coach Carroll sees as far as yourself. But it's he's been in a position to, now I'll give him this. The one game with the Rams, his his teammate slipped and he threw the interception where he was anticipating that his teammate was going to be there, and if his teammate didn't trip, then he would have been there. In the Steeler game, he fumbled the ball. He fumbled the ball. And then this game is just like, dude, you see that, okay, get rid of the ball. You know that they're coming for me. They're coming for you. They're coming for you. The New Orleans was coming for you. And then, New Orleans should have won. Um, New Orleans should have won like way more than what they won by, but they did get the win, but it is what it is.
It is, but when you got when you got your backup quarterback out there, you need everybody else to do their part. Don't
Mhm.
put your backup quarterback in a situation where he has to win the game. I believe Geno Smith won't lose you a game, but if you're relying on him to play the role of Russell Wilson and go win it, more often than not, you're going to come out on the losing side of that. So,
Well, you want to. Well, see, that's the thing. You want him to. You want Geno Smith to win the game. You want Geno Smith to win the game against the Rams. You want him to win the game against the Steelers. You want him to win the game against the Saints, because not only is that putting him just saying, okay, yes, we can depend on you when our QB1 is out, but now people are going to question now Geno Smith. Well, We put him out there, and this is what he produced.
Hmm.
And then it
Well, and
may
that's
affect his opportunities as far as job in the NFL.
that's why he's running back up. But we'll
Yeah,
see.
I'm just
We'll
saying.
see how the rest of it goes. So,
I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him.
yeah, no, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I wish the best for him and the Seahawks because they're much better than a 2-5 team. I'll tell you that much. But that's what we got time for this week. We'll see everybody in a couple days to talk about what's going on next weekend. As I said, make sure you subscribe, hit the button, like us, subscribe, share with your friends. Tell us what you think. Tell us we're retarded. That's fine too. Let us know what's going on in your life. We'll blame Sam for everything. It's just the way it is. But we hope everybody has a good week, and we will see you in a couple of days to talk about what's going on next weekend.